If you're listening to this late at night and you hear a sound inside your house that doesn't belong there, don't check it, because some houses don't just they respond. My name is David, and tonight I'm telling you a story that came from a quiet town in Oregon about a house that answered back, and the man who realized too late that it knew his name. In the small town of Ashford, Oregon, there is a stretch of road locals avoid after midnight. Pine trees grow too close together. They're blocking moonlight and radio signals alike. At the end of that road sits a narrow, two-story house painted an off-white color that never quite looks clean. No matter how many times it's repainted, that house stood empty for nearly 12 years, until Ethan Walker moved in. Ethan was 34, recently divorced, and desperate for quiet. He worked remotely as a data analyst and wanted nothing more than isolation. When he found the house listed for far below market value, he didn't ask questions. He told himself old houses were cheap for a reason. Creaky floors, bad wiring, outdated plumbing, nothing supernatural. At least, that's what he believed. The first night passed without incident. The second night brought the Winslow, deliberate gusts that rattled the windows as if someone were testing their strength. Ethan slept lightly, waking once around to 11 a.m., though he couldn't explain why. The house was silent. Too silent. On the third night, he heard it, a sound from downstairs. Not footsteps, not a creak, a single knock. Ethan sat up in bed, heart pounding. He checked his phone. Las 2:13 de la mañana. He waited. 30 seconds passed, then another knock softer. This time, as if whoever made it was unsure. Hello? Ethan called out, his voice sounding smaller than he expected. The house responded. From somewhere deep inside the walls came a low, wooden groan, followed by something that almost sounded like a sigh. Ethan told himself it was the house settling. Old buildings made noise. Everyone knew that. He lay back down, forcing his eyes shut. That was his first mistake. Over the next week, the sounds became more specific. A chair sliding across the floorways when he wasn't a room. A door closing gently behind him, never hard enough to slam. And sometimes, late at night, a whisper that stopped the moment he tried to focus on it. Ethan stopped sleeping well. His dreams became vivid, unsettling. He dreamed of standing in his hallway while the walls slowly leaned inward, narrowing the space until he could barely breathe. In every dream, the house felt aware. One morning, he found something strange. On the bathroom mirror, written in the steam from his shower, were 4 words. You hear me now. The letters vanished as the glass cooled. Ethan laughed it off, though his hands trembled. Stress, he told himself. Isolation, playing tricks on his mind. But the house wasn't finished. Who's there? Ask it. The lights flickered once, then the voice returned. Softer. You don't listen when I whisper. Ethan didn't remember moving, but suddenly he was back in his bedroom. Door locked, heart racing. He stayed there until sunrise, convinced exhaustion had finally broken his mind. The following day, he searched the house for anything unusual. Loose panels, hidden speakers, signs of a prank. Found none. But he did find something else. In the basement, behind a stack of old paint cans, was a door he hadn't noticed before. It was narrow and sealed shut with warped wood, as if it had been nailed closed from the inside. Scratched into the door were dozens of shallow marks. Finker nails. That night, Ethan didn't go upstairs. He sat on the couch, with every light on, television playing softly, trying to ground himself in noise. At 2:13 a.m., the TV cut to static. The house exhaled. Every light turned off at once, and the voice spoke again right behind him. I kept answering, but no one stayed. Ethan, run. He didn't grab his keys. He didn't grab his phone. He threw open the front door and bolted down the road, not stopping until his lungs burned and his legs shook. He spent the rest of the night in his car at a gas station miles away. The next morning, he called the realtor. She went quiet when he mentioned the voices. Then she told him the truth. Every previous owner had left within weeks. One man vanished entirely. Another was found wandering the road, unable to speak. All of them had reported the same thing before leaving. The house listened. And once it learned your voice, it didn't want you to go. Ethan never went back. But months later, in his new apartment hundreds of miles away, he woke suddenly at 2:13 a.m. to a familiar sound. Knock from inside the wall, and a calm voice he knew far too well whispered, "You hear me now?"